from Salem, Idaho. Chanley, first, just the emotion of what transpired over the course of this weekend, because last time we were speaking, there was a vigil, several miles from where you are now, and then it seemed like things continued over the weekend. Kind of give us a recap of what people are feeling out there.
It did, Vinny. Last Friday, we were live at the vigil, the very first vigil in Idaho Falls, honoring JJ and Tylee. And then there was one in Rexburg, downtown. There's Porter Park in downtown Rexburg. And there was a memorial there in the park from the day the remains were recovered. But then a small group gathered there to honor their lives, and statements from family members were read then. Then there was also another vigil at the Boise Capitol, the building that happened on Sunday evening as well. So it's been several days of remembering JJ and Tylee in a community that you can tell is just very heavy and somber. We showed in that story the blue and white ribbons that were tied all over town on Saturday, and it's a constant reminder. You drive through Rexburg all the way up here to Salem, and you see those ribbons hanging on fences, people's houses, on trees. Of course, the memorial behind me has grown 3 or 4 times over since we were last here live, and this is the spot where the remains were recovered in Chad Daybell's backyard.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed when I saw you tonight, how things have exponentially grown as word has spread. You had an opportunity to speak with a lot of different people over the course of the weekend, Chanley, and we heard in your piece you spoke with one of Tylee's friends. You also ran into one of Lori's friends as well?
I did. April Raymond was Lori Vallow's friend when Lori was in Hawaii. April lived in Hawaii for a time. She drove up for the vigil Friday night from Utah with a group of people, and I was able to speak with her about her reaction to all of this. Let's take a listen to some of what she said.
I think it's important to just really express my gratitude to the people of Idaho who had been searching for Tylee and JJ, who sacrificed time from their own families, from their own lives, to look for 2 children that were missing and that needed to be found.
April was quite emotional, along with a couple other 100 people who drove in from all over the area to be there on Friday night. And she was with, of course, the group of people that used to live in Hawaii. Tylee's best friend that we showed in the story, who was friends with Tylee the day that she died. She told me about that a text message that she sent to Tylee, and Tylee responded, but then when she responded, she never heard back from her ever again, and she's still trying to cope with that months later. And this is just kind of a first step in the process of hopefully, they say, closure, but they are all, Benny, seeking justice and wanting justice for Tylee and JJ.
So April Raymond was Lori's friend. And I've heard her speak before about Lori. Did she talk at all about, upgraded charges and what could happen here? Her friend is the one that's locked up, and I'm guessing she didn't visit her or isn't permitted to visit her. Did you have any conversations along those lines?
I did, because when I did introduce myself to April, and when we started to do this interview, I asked, well, do we call you Lori's friend? What is the situation? And she was quite candid with me, Vinny. She believes that Lori is responsible, as well as Chad Daybell is responsible for the death of Tylee and JJ. In fact, I think we have some sound about exactly how she feels about upgraded charges. Let's listen to that.
I hope that both Lori and Chad will have upgraded charges shortly. I hope that it's murder. And I hope that they, are held accountable, and whatever the state of Idaho feels that their punishment should be, I feel comfortable with that.
Some strong words there, and I think that's the sentiment throughout the community. We've been in town for several days now. We've attended the events and memorials and vigils honoring Tylee and JJ, and that seems to be the expectation here, Vinny, is that soon, once the investigators piece together everything that they have, that they were able to uncover in the latest search here almost a week ago at Chad Daybells' property, that they're expecting additional charges, upgraded charges against not only Chad, but also Lori as well, both still sitting in separate county jails here, $1 million bail.
Chanley,